The moment has come. XRP is roaring again, and behind the headlines lies a ticking time bomb most in this space aren't even noticing. The mainstream sees a rally, they see excitement, they see to the moon, but what if I told you there's a serious structural problem under the surface, one that could make or break this entire move? This is not financial advice. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the XRP problem nobody is talking about, and by the end, you'll see why what happens next could rewrite crypto's rules. If you're skeptical, stay with me, because the insight I'm about to reveal is insider level, high voltage, and absolutely designed to fuel debate. First off, XRP just surged nearly 6.8% off its low of 270 in a single session, igniting bullish calls targeting $4 and beyond. On-chain data shows wallets holding 1 to 10 million XRP added tens of millions of tokens in the past 48 hours. Whales accumulating, not distributing. At the same time, XRP's short-term supply on exchanges has shrunk dramatically. The technicals are screaming a breakout, but something else is lurking behind those charts. Stick around. Later I'll show a tweet from a top analyst that dropped jaws in the XRP community today. Now, what's the structural danger? Imagine building a skyscraper on sand. The view up top looks spectacular until the foundation cracks. XRP's foundation, its tokenomics, burn mechanics, and utility model, faces a stress test it may not pass if price spikes too fast. You'll see in a moment why banks, Ripple insiders, and whales might subtly force a ceiling. Let's break down 3 hidden pressure points, step by step, layering facts and what-if scenarios so you feel the tension building. 1. The burn versus usage paradox. XRP's model, every transaction on the ledger burns a small amount of XRP, was designed to reduce supply as utility usage grows. But here's the catch. If XRP becomes ultra-valuable, that burn cost becomes non-trivial. At $10 per token, burning a micro amount costs more. At 100, suddenly those transaction costs scale. So if adoption surges, the burn becomes a headwind rather than a selling point. That tension is rarely discussed. Look at this scenario. If XRP hit $50, that micro burn is no longer just a fee, it becomes a real drag, especially for high-volume transfers. At that point, institutions might prefer using stablecoins on XRPL instead of native XRP. That subtly diverts utility away from the token. 2. Whale control and supply dynamics. Whales hold a massive fraction of liquid XRP. Their accumulation behavior matters more than your retail buy order. If they begin to feel price is overheating, they could strategically sell into strength to cap upside. We've seen similar patterns in other crypto cycles. And with exchange supply down, that means even modest sell pressure can trigger steep corrections. That's the danger zone. It's not mega whale dumps that kill you. It's stealth profit-taking triggering liquidations. 3. Regulatory and institutional blind spots. Yes, XRP just cleared a major legal hurdle when the SEC dropped its case against Ripple. This changed the entire narrative. But regulators don't move in perfect alignment. If XRP becomes institutional infrastructure overnight, new scrutiny will follow. Tax, compliance, regulatory classification, cross-border restrictions. One surprise policy move or reinterpretation could send shockwaves. Now here's where it gets juicy. Today, a well-respected analyst tweeted that XRP's next leg is already being gently contained by institutional sellers, while retail buys are fueling the illusion of breakout momentum. That tweet is already lighting firestorms across X, Twitter, in XRP circles. Wait until we talk about the comment replies. Some insiders hint at a deeper narrative behind that control. So far, we've exposed the foundational paradox, the whale risks, and the regulatory wildcards. But the real pressure is how these 3 forces intersect if XRP tries to go vertical. Imagine price races from $3 to $10 in weeks. The burn costs explode, whale distribution intensifies, and regulatory flags begin waving. That's your tipping point moment. Here's what I believe will happen if XRP tries to blow off too fast. Whales start subtle profit taking just under key levels. Exchange supply shrinks further, volatility spikes, Retail reaction triggers FOMO. A regulatory tweak or surprise audit surfaces. Price then cascades or stalls until trust regathers. Now, you might be thinking, Matthew, I've seen these dips before. I'm not scared. But here's the counter side. What if XRP moves responsibly, breaking out slowly with controlled leverage, allowing adoption to catch up while avoiding burn drag and regulatory red flags? That's the sweet path. The question is, who will engineer that path and whether the community gets to steer or be steered? Let me preempt your doubts. Yes, I know you're wondering, isn't this just fear, uncertainty, doubt, FUD? Are we destroying the rally before it even runs? If you're doubting, good. That's exactly where you should be asking deeper questions. Because bullish narratives sell, they're easy, but the hard truths are what separate real believers from hype followers. That said, here's how you should think. If you're in this for the long haul, you don't want a 10x in weeks, you want a sustainable 100x over years. That means managing risk, knowing the danger zones, and preparing for shocks. Use scaling, take profit levels, set stop zones, watch whale flows. Now for the climactic reveal. Given everything, my central prediction is this. XRP will breach $5 within 12 months, but not in a straight dash. Expect a zigzag, a double top retest, and a potential shakeout zone around $7 before a true new leg. If those structural tensions I described activate prematurely, we might see a down leg first. But if whales hold and regulatory risk stays muted, we cut through to $10 territory. Which path wins? That depends on institutional behavior, how fast adoption kicks in, and whether regulators remain silent or step in. All three are wildcards, and that's exactly the problem nobody is talking about yet. Here's the closing. XRP's moment is here. The hype and headlines only scratch the surface. What lies beneath, the burn paradox, whale influence, regulatory pressure, is what could define this cycle's winners and losers. If you've made it this far, you deserve clarity, not hype. Use the insights I shared, debate them below, ask me the hard questions. Let's make the community smarter. If this changed how you see XRP, smash that like button, drop a comment with your target and which path you believe, subscribe for more deep dives, and share this with everyone in your network. Let's push this conversation into the mainstream. You in? Let's go to the moon together.